Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. And inside of today's video, guys, we finally have the full-on English subs for the character introduction for Crow. It's going to showcase everything when it does come down to at least his movesets and things like that. And they're all translated, thankfully, to the man Tycon and Red Harv, as always. Thank you guys for both that. And as you guys can tell, it is fairly late that I'm posting this video. I woke up very late and then I had to do some things like real life stuff as well. And I just got back home. So we're going to be going ahead and doing this video. Sorry that it is a little bit later than normal, but we're going to do this as normal, or at least do this as usual here, where we're going to go over the character, or at least watch everything, have my reactions to it, of course. And then we're going to go back and like translate like awarenesses and stuff like that and actually look at those and get a little bit of a deeper feel for this character. For what I know, he is of course a sub DPS for the most part, but he's a sub DPS in the factor that he's mainly acting as just a help for his main DPS. And it's not even like sub DPS type deal where he's actually dealing a ton of damage. No, he's genuinely helping out his allies from what I've at least been told here. So we're gonna get a good look into this. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and let's jump straight into it. But I'm gonna make sure this looks nice. So boom, boom, that should look great here. We should have a decent bit of noise, and let's straighten this back out. Boom. All right, good. All right, so we're getting a good look at them palace again, of course. Some interactions between the thieves. Why Mona walking around like that? Fine. Man, the facial expressions for freaking Akechi has always been great. This time no core. I love how Akechi's genuinely bringing out the like suspicious type side of things, where he's diving more into it. And so too. This is literally just like Crow with his observations at this point. Homie said, "You try to recruit someone at a time like this." Okay, now we get the good looks. Look at the art. Look at the art. I am sad that he's not a duo character. Like, of course, some of us didn't know he wasn't going to be one because he was in the beta, but I am kind of sad that he doesn't have his other form. But we got the whole 3D look, of course, looking all nice, stanced up. Got some of the gameplay here. Okay, first skill looking nice as usual. Second skill, just curse damage. So he has blessed curse damage as well, and then one almighty move as well. Okay, that looks nice. And then walk him down. Walk him down. Hold on. I love that ult, bro. It just looks nice. It just genuinely looks nice. Then from what I know, the weapon is a must want, like a must pull. So that does kind of suck. Unlike Matoya, where the 4-star was worth it, he is actually worth getting the 5-star weapon for. Okay. And then of course the AOA. We all love the AOA. Hold on. You gotta love that, bro. I think that's all to it, right? Yeah. Okay. That was all to it. First of all, absolutely amazing as usual, bro. I am sorry. Every time I like actually see this dude, it makes me smile so hard. Absolutely amazing. First of all, I'm loving that. We actually got to see more of this character at last. We've been waiting on this character. I say we've been, you know, I'm gonna speak for myself because I don't know if I can speak for y'all that much, but I've been waiting on this dang character for a hot minute. Normally I would love to try and dupe out this character to the best I possibly could, aka A6, but we won't be able to do that, unfortunately, because I'm still moving through jobs and stuff like that right now. But I am gonna try and go for his A2. From what I've heard, the A2 is actually crazy good. So enough of the yip yap, let's go ahead and check exactly what he does here. So checking out and seeing exactly what is up here, we're going to check out the A0. So A0 is what he ends up having with at the beginning. It's called Walking in Fog. At the start of the battle, give the highest attack ally detective partner. Pretty much this is somewhat similar to dancing partner, like what is it called, Summary had as well. So this one here, detective partner, it prioritizes dominate or rebel thieves. Now if you guys don't know exactly what those are characters such as like Summer Closer, Joker, those type characters that are like AoE based, as well as rebel thieves, if I'm right, is for single targeters. Dominant is for like AoE, if I'm correct. I might get the terminology wrong, please correct me if I'm right about that, because I always just call them AoE and single targeters, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are there. But pretty much it just prioritizes them. You can choose a detective partner at the start of your own turn here. There can only be one detective partner. By doing so, you gain an attack equal to a certain percentage of the detective partner's attack, and when detective partner deals damage with the persona skill, highlight, or follow-up, it will then record their average damage dealt to all enemies. If it is a single target skill, then it'll record the damage of that single target, aka if it's an AoE skill, then of course it records the damage of that. At the start of the turn, you will then gather one stack of Arrow of Clarity based on the total recorded damage, then clear the record. Sorry. Arrow of Clarity, I almost said Calamity. Jeez, is this how you know my head is? Arrow of Clarity lasts for a certain amount of turns up to a certain amount of stacks here. Now, immediately taking a look at it, we have the skill 1, which is Vow of Justice. This does take 20 SP. It does a certain percentage of attack bless damage to all allies, all enemies here. So AoE bless damage here, which does restore our HP to a certain extent, which is really, really nice. It also gives you a 1 stack of bless to all of your allies. You then also can gain Truth, which is a new little thing that he has here, and then gain Clarity for 2 whole turns. Under Clarity, this increases all allies damage dealt. So you can see where more of that helpfulness is coming in, or at least helping out your allies based on like not only heals here, but also increasing the damage dealt. Then of course we have the skill 2, Unjust Hurting Ground, which is a 20 SP move as well here. This deals a certain percent of attack burst damage to all enemies, in which you gain Truth. This then will give you Chaos for 2 whole turns. Under Chaos, this decreases all enemies defense and increases the defense decreased by how many times you can trigger Arrow of Chaos and its damage dealt. So the more often you do this, the more you're going to decrease their defense. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to deal more damage due to doing this as well. So the 2 teams that we're already seeing is going to be Summer Closer and Joker. This is already great. This has already been something that has been kind of set in stone that a lot of people are looking at, because we don't have really any other curse characters just yet. Cough, cough, anniversary, please. And we don't have any other like high tier blessed characters that are meant for the AoE side other than Summer Closer. Of course, you can go very well on the single target side with Kazumi, but Kazumi works a little weird and you don't really want to mess up her rotation, so I don't think that she's really going to be a good choice for his teams as well, but who knows, we'll check that out as well. Then we have the skill 3, Golden Arrow Rain. Now this is Annihilate, aka the what is it called, Almighty skill here. Is 24 SP. It unlocks the condition when you have Truth and then consumes all Arrow of Clarity. This will then deal a certain percentage of recorded damage from Arrow of Clarity as almighty damage to all enemies. then randomly shoots an arrow of chaos, each dealing a certain percentage of attack of almighty damage here. Now, this will also prioritize enemies that have not been attacked yet. You will only deal a certain percentage of damage to the same target. So it will of course deal double damage to one of the characters, like one of the enemies specifically, and it's only one of the enemies that it will do that twice to. Now, that damage is only going to do a set amount, but of course it's nice. But this is pretty much recording the damage that you did from one of the other skills here, and it then shoots that damage back out after consuming all the arrow of clarities that you do have here, aka stacking up that damage there and dealing it to everyone as almighty damage. So no matter what, it's going to deal some decent damage here, no matter what you do. The more of course of these arrows that you do have, of just arrow of clarity or arrow of chaos here, which does happen as well, you will deal a certain amount of damage, and it's going to be a huge amount of damage as long as you have everything prepped. This skill is probably going to be your big boy skill that you're just going to throw out there once you do need to do so. I'm not sure how the skill rotation would be. It'd probably be like 1 2 then 3, or like 1 3 2 3. It just depends on the team. Seeing that it does take these arrows, like let's see, I think we get clarity for one of this on this one here, and then we get 1 chaos on this one. It will take these arrows, so I am at least guessing that you want to, depending on the team that you're working with, you only want to use that set skill and then pop off the, of course, skill 3. Like if I'm using a curse team, I only use skill 2 and then pop off skill 3, or vice versa. All right, okay. I think that's going to be kind of the deal with this one though, but it is kind of a little weird, so I'll have to see more gameplay on them at least to justify that, or at least tell exactly what happens there. Then we have the highlights. It deals a set percentage of attack bless damage and attack curse damage to all enemies. It increases how many times you can trigger it based on the arrows of chaos for one turn, or at least for a couple turns here. So more arrows of chaos here, the more times it will trigger, depending if you have your highlight, of course. So get those arrows of chaos up as well. Going to deal at least a decent bit of bless damage and curse damage out of this, as long as you have those chaos stacks there as well. Now we do have the signature weapon. Now what I've been at least told here, this 5-star weapon is absolutely great. So let's go ahead and look at it and see what it does. So it increases the attack, and then when you gain clarity or chaos, it increases allies attack by a certain percentage for a certain amount of turns. Now this is a huge deal to me, because at this point in time, this allows you to pretty much sit here and help out the main DPS. You do have this weapon, you're getting that clarity, you're getting the chaos pretty easily, you're increasing your attack overall for everybody, and it's for a certain amount of turns, and you can easily get a lot of that crit damage, and more so depending if you do have this weapon. Just stated off this 5-star weapon, I can tell that the 4-star weapon is going to be lacking a lot of this extra stuff as well. So I can see why they say this 5-star weapon is already going to be very much so worth it. Then it has this little second part here, that when the detective partner uses a persona skill, a highlight, a follow-up, it will increase his crit damage by a certain percentage for a set amount of turns, up to a set amount of stacks. This is already amazing here, because not only are you helping your teammates drastically, but you're also helping Crow himself to get more of that damage. Seeing he is a sub DPS, you can very well build him very well against, or at least very well with the DPS at hand, having technically 2 DPSs in your arsenal, and this will really help you out as well when it comes down to blitzing different mobs. So really good to see there. Then we have the passive 1. Passive 1 is called Law, and when you are in the team here, you can almost a decrease. You can trigger Desire Sonata for any element at the start of the battle. This increases damage dealt for every triggered Desire Sonata, in which I think that's just something in his passive. I don't really know what that means here, unless that goes with the passive too. Maybe it's weird, but I probably missed that somewhere. I don't know how, but it increases damage dealt, which is pretty nice. Then we have the passive 2, which is Desire. When dealing almighty damage, it will increase damage dealt based on the target's defense down percentage up to a certain amount of percent as well. So really nice. No matter what, you're going to be taking advantage of that defense down as well to get more damage for your arsenal. That's always good to actually have. Now from what I've heard here, 3, 4, 5 are like okay-ish, right? They're just okay. We don't really need to read those. What I'm going to be reading is the 1, 2, and 3. Oh no, 1, 2, and 6 here. So for the first awareness, we have suspect investigation. gains clarity at the start of the battle here, and it extends the clarity and chaos to 4 turns. This then will increase your crit rate when you have both clarity and chaos. So from what I know, awareness 1 is less priority than awareness 2, because you really get more use out of the awareness 1 if you have the awareness 2. So it goes for priority lists, if I'm right, if you can do it, of course A6, but what you really want to try and aim for is the A2, then A1, or at least A2, because then that makes A1 actually shine a little bit brighter. If you can't go for A2, just stick at A0. If I'm just saying it like this, if you can't get A2, go for A0. It's just worth it at that point. If you get A1, you might as well try to get A2, because they kind of go hand in hand. Awareness 2 here is called Trail of Clues. After dealing damage with a persona skill, it will increase your, well, I guess Akechi and the detective's partner attack by crit and wait, reread that, hold on. After dealing damage with a persona skill, so aka Akechi, it will increase your, which I'm thinking they mean Akechi and the detective partner's attack by and crit damage for a certain amount of turns, if that element is different than the last skill. So I'm guessing how they're gonna go about this is if, like, maybe I use a bless skill, right, and then I use out of nowhere a crit damage, freaking curse skill, boom, they go hand in hand. That's something like that works here. And if it's a different element than the last skill. Now I don't know if they want the detective partner to do that or if Akechi to do that. If I'm being logical, because most other characters aren't gonna have that you're gonna be running them with. You're either using mono, what's it called, mono bless, or either you're probably gonna use a little bit of curse, something like that here, or mono curse here. What I'm thinking is they want you to then with A2 is use maybe his bless skill one turn, and then the next turn use his curse skill. This will then allow you to get the attack percentage and the crit damage percent for both you and your detective partner, which is what I'm thinking that's going to be like. Who knows? I'm going to need some clarification on that because I'm reading it wrong. I can definitely tell because it's made me stop, and I'm trying to read the sentence and it just seems weird to try and read back. So I'm probably reading this wrong terribly, but I would like to think it's maybe just use 2 different moves with Akechi, and then you get, of course, your detective partner and himself attack and crit damage for a certain amount of turns, which is really, really helpful. So as I did say, if you have the A2, you're not only having nice least extensions with the clarity and chaos, which helps out your crit rate, but now you're getting a boosting crit rate, crit damage, and attack just by having the A2, which is absolutely amazing here. So I already said I'm gonna be skipping the other 3. You guys, of course, can slow down the video if you want to check them out. There's 3, 4, 5, but the big one is the A6 here. And when I heard A6 is actually stupid dummy, in which awareness 6 is called the Dust Settles. This increases Arrow of Clarity's recorded damage by a certain percentage. When using Golden Arrow Rain Annihilate, you now see all allies as detective part. Whoa, okay, so it's no longer restricted to 1. It's kind of like a Futaba's Featherman skill, where like it's now no longer restricted to that one person. It's like everybody now. So everyone is now a detective partner. This additionally will gain an amount of crit rate and crit damage based on the percent of the highest crit rate and crit damage among the detective partners. So whoever has the highest crit rate and crit damage, it's going to take those and just pretty much additionally give that to everyone who's a detective partner up to a certain percentage, which is insanity, first of all, because that's actually crazy to see how much damage you can actually get out with just doing that. So I can see why everyone was going insane about that A6. I'm not gonna lie, that's really, really good. Definitely one of the better ones that we've been seeing recently. So I'm not gonna lie, that's a really good A6, of course. If you guys did want to go ahead and dupe this character, if you can't get it A6, get the character A2. Can't get the A2, keep the character at A0. A1 is not necessary if you're not going for A2. So A6, A2, A0, boom, perfect. And then of course we have the amazing AOA art. Gotta love that. But we went over everything here. This character is gonna be freaking awesome. I'm ready for it and I can't wait to see more. But till next time, everybody, thank y'all for watching, and sorry that it was so late again. Peace out.